What's going on, guys? New video today. Brianna and I are actually going to be breaking down the two styles of handheld release straps that we carry on bowdisciples.com and why, which one might be better for you depending what type of hunting you do and what style of hunting you like. So generally a handheld release is going to be either hanging from a string like this or it's going to be in your pocket. Both of which I've never been a huge fan of because unless it's long enough, which this strap is, to go around your hand like this, that's really nice because it's out of the way. You can use your hand. It's not banging stuff. But a lot of cords are too short. You end up banging it all over the place on your bow or your friggin' Bino harness, or there's all sorts of stuff you're whacking that release on if it's on a cord. The good news is you're not going to lose it, so I do like that. The downside I find of people who put it in their pocket or in their Bino harness or this or that, especially on a hunt, it's one thing at a 3D shoot or a tournament or something like that, but when you're out hunting and you're roughing it and you're crawling through trees and doing crazy stuff, that can fall out of wherever you have it so easily, and then you got a freaking booner buck standing there at 55 yards and you go for your release and it's gone. This release strap right here, we sell them on the website. We have black, green, and tan. What I really like about these in particular is that number one, it's Velcro and it double layers, so it's not going to move all day long. You put it on in the morning in the dark when you head out of camp, and you can hunt all day. You're not going to ever have to mess with this. The one thing I already mentioned is how there's enough lanyard to go around your hand if that's the way you prefer to do it, which a lot of times is what I like to do. And then it has the tubing to keep this rope super clean and organized. But here's where it gets really tricky. So there's actually a little layer of fabric on this release strap where you can tuck your release into the strap. And now I can be doing anything. So I can be glassing, I can be using a tripod, I can be hanging a tree stand, building a blind, carrying my bow any way I want, and I'm not going to be banging this sucker on the bow. That is really a slick feature. Another thing is this is kind of, I call it the ready position, and I'll show you guys why here in a second. But if I'm really huffing it and like just want the release out of the way, I could actually tuck it a little bit deeper, and now that sucker is really like totally hands-free. It's not going to get lost, it's not going to bang stuff, it's not going to get dirty. You could even flip it around if you want it on the top of your wrist for a long pull. You have all kinds of options. But most of the time, you're going to run it like this, kind of in that first neck, and I'll show you why. Let's say I'm walking through the forest, boom, oh, I see a booner, I see a big buck, I range them 43 yards, dial the sight, it's totally hands-free. And then you can actually, bam, just shake it and it pops out. So just like that, I didn't have to do anything. I didn't have to use two hands, and I got the release in my hand, and I'm ready to draw. And shoot a pinwheel and put that deer down. So it's friggin' awesome. I like how quick and easy it is. Like I said, bowdisciples.com, we sell these puppies in 3 different colors, and they work for basically any type of release. Even the stands, all sorts of stuff. They work for stand, ultra view, Carter, like I have here. They work for basically every type of release, handheld release that you could get, or a lot of hinges as well. So check them out, bowdisciples.com. And I'm going to have Brianna now tell you about a different type of release harness.
So the second release strap holder we sell on the site is made by Muir Archery. It's called the single point. So as you can see, I just tuck my release. It goes right into my side pocket of my Bino harness. These are specifically for if you wear Bino harnesses, which I do 99.999% of the time. I don't even take it off when I'm glassing. I leave it on because if something were to happen, I want my rangefinder right next to me. I want my release and my binos. So perfect spot to tuck your release right there on the side, and my winding dust stays right on this side. Now I'm a lefty, so things may look a little different for you, or opposite or backwards. But the way in which you set this thing up is very simple. So when you get it, the strings are going to be a lot longer than they are right now with mine. I went ahead and cut mine down because I'm so small. I needed to shrink mine a lot, and the string was like up here in my face. So You're going to adjust this string right here, which all you're going to do is move your little rubber straps and pull just like that, or unpull to loosen it. And then over here, this is a 2.0 version, which I don't believe it's on the site yet, but it looks a little different, but it's the same concept. So you're going to have a 2-loop system over here that you're going to loop your straps through your Bino harness and then come across and loop through on the other side. And there's some special boats and mate knots that are super easy, but they keep it tied together tight so it cannot come undone. It's not your simple regular bow tie knot. So then you're going to clip your release on and you are set. I even shrink mine over here so that it's the perfect distance for me. Obviously for most people it's going to look a little wider, but it's completely adjustable to you. And once you get it set where you want, you go ahead, you burn your ends, tie your knots if you like for some extra safety, and you're good to go. Now the way you choose your length is you're going to clip it to your bow, and you're going to make sure that essentially when it's taut, you can still reach your hand to your grip. If you can reach your hand to your grip, you're going to be able to draw the bow. But before you tie anything down, if you want, you test it by just drawing the bow. I love this because once you're clipped on, you're clipped on. So I can come over here. I'm not going to ding anything with my release now because it can't reach anything. I can come over here, I can adjust my sight, turn it down, turn it up. What's the distance here?
45.
Sure. And then you could drop it back down, and then you could just let go. It's not going to go anywhere. It's not going to go anywhere. It's just stuck. So I find it very silent, very quick, and in those times where you have a handheld that does not have a strap, the bow's got to go back down on the ground, so you have a hand to hold, a hand to fold, and you don't have to do that with this system. So I can just come back, I can come out of it, and I can put it away right over here, and boom, you're done. I can take it back out, I can clip it on, and then once I'm clipped on, if I want to walk or I want to take steps or I want to walk and do it at the same time, and I want to come over here and stick my arrow on, boom, grab my release again, and then come up, and that's it. And then tuck it back away and take off. So I find it to be super easy and reliable. All of the knot systems that are in it make it untieable as far as when you're drawing all that tension that's on it. The knots aren't going to slip, and you set it to be perfectly set for you and your bow. So every time you don't have to worry about it's too long, it's too short, anything like that. You can find them on bowdisciples.com as well as the Native Archery release straps. Both are $50 either or, just depending on if you're a Bino harness wearer or you prefer it on your wrist, and free shipping was $60 and up. So pick yourself up a t-shirt or a hat if you want while you're on there, or a sticker pack. And thank you for watching.